Let's start with something that most men never learn. Something that no one teaches you in school, and most dating advice doesn't talk about. Women test men, but not because they're cruel, not because they're trying to hurt you, and definitely not because they're playing games. They test men because they want to feel something real. You see, attraction isn't just about looks or money or status. It's deeper than that, much deeper. Attraction is about energy. It's about strength. It's about emotional safety. And the truth is, a woman needs to know if the man she's getting close to is solid. Not perfect, not flashy, just solid, grounded, real. She wants to know, can he handle pressure? Will he stay calm when things get messy? Is he still a man when I'm emotional, confused, or unsure? So how does she find this out? She tests you. Now, here's the part that confuses most men. These tests don't always look like tests. They're not a quiz with questions. They're not something she writes down on a list. They're natural, instinctive, emotional. She might pull away for a few days just to see how you respond. She might tease you, joke with you, or ask something like, "Are you talking to other girls? Why didn't you text me back right away? Do you even care?" And if you're like most men, you panic. You try to fix things. You chase. You start explaining yourself. You try to prove that you're good enough. And right there, in that moment, you fail the test. Because when you chase her approval, you show her that she has power over you. You show her that your emotions depend on her behavior. But women don't want to lead the dance. They want to follow a man who's already steady. A man who doesn't break just because her mood changes. A man who doesn't fall apart when she pulls away. The men who pass her tests are not trying to pass anything at all. Let that sink in. They're not reading lines. They're not acting cool. They're not playing some fake character. They're just being. They are calm. They are focused. They are confident in themselves. And most of all, they are not afraid to lose her. That is the secret. You pass the test by not needing to pass it. You pass it by staying in control of yourself, not controlling her, not trying to fix her, just staying in control of you. Because real strength is quiet. It doesn't shout. It doesn't chase. It doesn't argue. It just is. And a woman feels that deep in her body, deep in her instincts. She senses it. She senses when you're a man who is rooted like a mountain, calm, present, unshakable. And that presence, that stability, that's what makes her respect you. That's what makes her crave you. That's what makes her trust you. She doesn't want to be your whole world. She wants to be part of a world that already exists. A world where you are the center, where you have purpose, peace, vision, where her tests don't knock you off balance. Because you've already passed the only test that truly matters, the one inside, the one where you ask yourself, do I need her to feel like a man? And answered, number, I am already enough. That's the kind of man she stays up thinking about. The one who can hold his center. The one who doesn't bend just to please her. The one who walks with quiet confidence, not loud approval seeking. That's the kind of man who doesn't chase women. And because of that, women chase him. Let's talk about what most men don't understand about power in relationships. The man who holds power isn't loud. He doesn't brag. He doesn't chase. He doesn't try to win her over. His power is quiet. It comes from the fact that he is okay either way. Whether she stays or leaves, he does not lose himself. This kind of man doesn't give away his time, his energy, or his emotions too easily. And this is where many men fail. They confuse giving with earning love. They think, if I give more, if I do more, if I show her how much I care, she'll stay. But that mindset is exactly why she pulls away. Because here's the truth. When you try to prove yourself to a woman, you are already saying, without words, I'm not enough unless you choose me. That's the kind of energy that makes her lose respect. Not because she's mean or shallow, but because it's not attractive. Neediness repels, power attracts, and power doesn't beg. Let me give you a new way to think about it. Imagine your life is a house, a strong, peaceful house. Inside there's calm, there's purpose, there's something beautiful being built. Now imagine someone comes by. Maybe they're interested in the house. Maybe they even love it. But if you throw open the doors, beg them to come in, follow them down the street crying if they leave, suddenly that house feels weak, desperate. It's no longer a place of power. It's a place of need. You see, the moment you make her the center of your world, before she's earned it, you give her all your strength. But when you build your life like a strong house, with or without her, that's when she leans in. That's when she wants to be a part of it. Because now your attention feels valuable. Now your time is limited. Now your presence is rare. And anything that is rare is respected. That's why absence is powerful. Not because it's a trick, but because it creates space. And in that space, she starts to wonder. She starts to think. She starts to feel something that most men never make her feel. This man doesn't need me, but I want him. That's when the game changes. Because now she's thinking about you. Now she's chasing you. Now she's testing not to push you away, but to see if you are strong enough to hold her heart. Most men fail this part because they're afraid of silence. They're afraid of space. They want constant contact, constant proof. But the real test is simple. Can you stay centered when she steps back? Can you hold your frame without running to fix her mood? Because a woman will always test to see if the man she's drawn to is the real thing. Not in words, not in logic, but in energy. And when you pass that test by standing tall, staying focused on your path, and trusting your value, that's when she feels something rare. Something most women never feel around men anymore. Respect. Let's go deeper into what a test from a woman really is. It's not about tricking you. It's not about being cruel. It's not even something she's always aware she's doing. A test is her way of asking one question. Are you the man you say you are? You see, anyone can talk. Anyone can post online about being high value. Anyone can act confident when things are easy. But a woman watches what you do when things get hard. when she pulls away a little, when she disagrees with you, when she challenges your time or your attention. She's looking to see if you bend, if you start to panic, if you start to explain yourself too much, if you break your own rules just to keep her happy. That's when she knows this man doesn't lead, he follows. And the moment she senses that, attraction starts to fade. Not because she wants to hurt you, but because she's wired to want a man who can stay calm under pressure. Think about it. How can she trust a man with her heart, her body, her future, if that man falls apart every time she tests his patience? She's not looking for a man who tries to pass her tests by guessing the right answer. She's looking for a man who stays solid, no matter what she throws at him. That means when she gives you attitude, you don't get emotional. When she takes longer to reply, you don't chase. When she tries to make you jealous, you don't play along. You simply stay calm. You keep living your life. You stick to your principles. This is where most men go wrong. They think the test is something to fight, but the smart man knows. A test is an invitation. It's a chance to prove, not with words, but with action, that you're grounded, that you're not swayed by drama, that you don't need her approval to be okay. Women respect that deeply. It's like standing in the middle of a storm without flinching. Not because you're cold, not because you don't care, but because you know who you are. You don't fight the storm, you don't chase it away. You just let it pass. That's when she realizes this man can handle me, and not just the sweet, easy version of her, but the real her, her moods, her doubts, her fears. When she sees that you won't fold even when tested, she starts to feel safe, not just attracted, but safe. And for a woman, that's the deepest kind of pull there is. Now let's talk about something most men ignore. The way you respond to silence. Sometimes a woman will go quiet. She might not text back right away. She might act a little distant. She might not seem as warm as before. And the average man? He panics. He sends 3 messages in a row. He asks if everything is okay. He starts chasing, trying to fix what's not even broken. But here's the truth most men don't understand. That silence is a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It shows you how comfortable or uncomfortable you are with space. Because the way a man handles silence says everything about his strength. A weak man tries to fill the silence. A strong man respects it. Not in a cold way, but in a calm way. He gives space without fear. He stays centered in his life, his purpose, his mission. This doesn't mean he ignores her. It means he trusts himself. He trusts that if a woman truly values him, she'll return. And if she doesn't, he doesn't beg. He doesn't argue. He doesn't break. He simply walks forward. This is the power of detachment. You're not chasing love. You're attracting it by showing your strength. You're not proving your worth. You're living it through your actions and your presence. Because here's what most people won't tell you. The man who can stay calm during silence is rare. Most guys fold. Most overreact. Most lose control. So when a woman sees a man who's unshaken, a man who doesn't force connection but invites it, she starts thinking about him more. She starts wondering, why isn't he chasing like the others? What is he doing that's so important? Why does he feel so solid, so unbothered? And that curiosity, that's when the craving starts. Because real desire isn't born from pressure. It's born from mystery, from space, from knowing that your world doesn't stop just because someone went quiet. So next time you face silence, don't fill it with noise. Fill it with purpose. Go to the gym. Work on your goals. Be around other strong men. Read, build, create, grow. When you do this, you stop needing constant attention to feel okay. And that shift, that's when people start chasing you. Let's talk about something powerful. The difference between reacting and responding. This is one of the biggest reasons women test men. They want to see how you handle pressure. Not because they want to destroy you, but because they want to know, is this man solid or will he crumble? Let's say she says something cold. Maybe she says, "You're not really my type." Or, "You're not as ambitious as other guys I know." Now, most men, they react. They get angry. They get defensive. They try to explain themselves or prove her wrong. But a man who understands the game, he doesn't react. He responds. He stays calm. He smiles. Maybe he says, "That's okay. I'm not for everyone." Boom. Strength. He's not upset. He's not fighting. He's showing that he's not afraid to stand alone. This is what women are really looking for. Not a man who wins every argument. Not a man who begs to be liked. They want a man who doesn't need their approval to feel good about himself. Because here's a secret. A man who can't control his emotions will always lose respect. Even if he's nice. Even if he's loyal. Even if he gives her everything. If he explodes over little things. If he begs when she pulls away. If he panics when she challenges him. She may still talk to him. She may still hang around. But deep down, she won't respect him. And without respect, there is no desire. There is no real attraction. So how do you pass the test? Simple. You pause, you breathe, and you choose how to respond. You don't chase. You don't cry. You don't try to convince her to like you. Instead, you say more with less. You show her that your peace matters more than her opinion. Because the man who chooses peace over chaos, the man who controls himself no matter what storm comes, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. He's rare. He's calm. He's powerful. He doesn't just attract her. He earns her respect. And once you have that, you're in a position of true strength. Let's go deeper. You might be wondering, why do women test men in the first place? It's simple. They want to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. Women test men because they want to know, can this man protect me from myself? Can he stay strong when I feel weak? Can he keep calm when I act emotional? Can he be the anchor when I feel lost? That's what a test really is. She's not always aware she's doing it, but it's built into her nature. She wants to find the man who can lead, not the one who gets pulled into her storms. So what does that mean for you? It means you need to stop seeing her tests as attacks. They're not punishments. They're not games. They're invitations to rise. Think of it like this. A test is not a wall. It's a door. And behind that door is deeper connection, deeper trust, deeper attraction. But the only way you get through that door is by staying centered. Let's say she gets upset and accuses you of something that isn't true. You can shout, you can argue, you can try to defend yourself. But that's what most guys do, and most guys lose. The man who passes the test, he doesn't argue, he doesn't plead. He stands tall in the truth. He says, I know who I am. You're free to believe what you want. That one sentence shows everything. It shows strength. It shows self-respect. It shows he won't trade peace for approval. And that is rare. When you stay grounded during a test, you send her a clear message. I am the mountain. The storm can come, but I won't move. She feels that. She may not show it right away, but deep down, she'll respect it. Because while she may challenge you, what she really hopes is that you won't fold, that you'll hold steady, that you'll hold yourself. Because if you can do that, she'll feel like she can finally relax. She'll feel like she can trust you. And that, my friend, is when everything changes. Let's talk about something most men don't realize. Silence is power. Yep, real power isn't loud. It's not about shouting or showing off. It's about being calm, quiet, still. And when you're being tested, silence can be your strongest weapon. Here's what I mean. Sometimes when a woman tests you, she's not even looking for a reaction. She's watching to see if you need to react at all. Does your ego get hurt? Do you rush to explain yourself? Do you beg for her to see your side? Or can you hold silence? Can you let the moment breathe? Because silence shows something deeper. It shows you don't need to prove anything. And that's attractive. Most guys are too quick to fill the silence. They try to fix, explain, or change her mind. But women don't crave a man who needs to explain himself all the time. They crave a man who already knows who he is and doesn't need approval. Let's break it down. If she pulls back a little, don't chase. If she throws a test your way, don't overtalk. If she gets moody, don't lose your cool. Just breathe. Stay silent. Let your actions speak. Now, silence doesn't mean being cold or ignoring her. It means being rooted. You don't have to chase her energy. You don't have to fix her mood. You just have to stay you. A calm, silent man who is confident in who he is. That's rare. That's magnetic. Because women live in a world of noise, texting, talking, emotions, questions. When she meets a man who can sit in stillness, it makes her feel safe. It makes her feel drawn in. It makes her want to be close. Because if you can handle the silence, she'll trust that you can handle her. Remember this. Stillness is not emptiness. It's control. It's peace. It's power. And when a woman sees that in you, she respects you. She desires you. She stops testing because she's already found her answer. Let's dive into something most men don't want to admit. Your response to pressure is your true test. Here's the deal. Women don't just test you when things are calm and easy. They test you when things feel tense, when emotions are running high, when you're tired, stressed, or unsure. That's when your mask slips and the real you comes out. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because this is where growth happens. Think of it like lifting weights. You don't get stronger from lifting light things. You grow when it's heavy, when it's hard. Same with being a man. Pressure is your gym. Emotional tests are your workout. And women? They bring that pressure naturally. Not because they're mean. Not because they want to hurt you. But because they're wired to feel safe with strength. And here's the twist. Strength isn't about muscles or yelling. It's about how calm you stay under pressure. Can you stay centered when she's emotional? Can you hold your frame when she's throwing questions? Can you stay honest, calm, and grounded, even when it's uncomfortable? That's what she's looking for. She's not hoping you pass the test by being perfect. She's watching how you handle the storm. And guess what? You're allowed to be honest. You're allowed to say, I need space to think. You're allowed to say, let's talk later when we're calm. You're allowed to lead the moment with clarity, not chaos. This is Stoic energy. It's not about pretending you feel nothing. It's about not letting your emotions control you. And when you do that, you make her feel safe, even if she doesn't say it out loud. You show her you're not a boy reacting. You're a man leading. That's the shift, from reaction to direction, and she'll feel it. Her tests stop feeling like games because she knows you're not playing. She knows she can trust your center. You don't just pass her test. You become the answer she didn't know she needed. Now let's talk about something that makes most men nervous. What happens when you fail a woman's test? It's a scary thought, right? You think, if you mess up once, it's over. She's gone. You blew it. But here's the truth. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. A test isn't always a pass or fail thing. It's not a school exam. It's more like a mirror. She's trying to see who you really are. Not just on your good days, but on your bad ones too. So let's say you mess up. Let's say you react emotionally. You raise your voice. You get jealous. You act needy. Okay, that's human. But what happens next is what matters most. Do you hide? Do you blame her? Do you chase after her to try and fix everything fast? Or do you step back, take a breath, and say to yourself, all right, I see where I messed up. Let's do better. That's the kind of man who grows. Women respect growth. They respect accountability. They respect when a man learns from the hit and stands taller. She doesn't want a man who's always right. She wants a man who's strong enough to get better. So don't fear the test. Don't run from it. Because sometimes failing a test helps you become stronger for the next one. And here's another secret. Women notice when you grow, even if they don't say it. If you used to get angry and now you stay calm, she notices. If you used to beg and now you choose space with confidence, she notices. If you used to fold and now you hold your values, she feels it in her body. And that's the power of emotional strength. You don't just pass her tests. You rise above them, not to impress her, but because you're becoming a better man for yourself. And the more you level up, the less you fear losing anyone, because now you know you're the prize. Not because she says so, but because you know who you are. And that, my friend, is where real power begins. Let's end this with the truth most men never hear. You don't have to chase love. You don't have to beg for attention. You don't have to perform like a clown to be liked. You don't have to jump through hoops just to be chosen. You're not a dog. You're a man. And a man with discipline, focus, and self-respect is already attractive. The moment you stop looking for approval is the moment you start getting respect. Women test you to see if you'll abandon yourself for them. But when you stay solid, when you stay true to your values, your goals, and your mission, they feel something powerful. Safety. Not the kind of safety that's soft or weak, but the kind of safety that says, I've got me. And because I've got me, I'll never need to own or control you. That's rare. That's valuable. That's magnetic. See, a lot of guys think being loved means being needed. But real love doesn't come from need. It comes from freedom. When you're free, you don't force. When you're free, you don't fake. When you're free, you don't fear her walking away. Because you know this. Any woman who walks away from your truth isn't for you. And the ones who do stay, they'll respect you more than words can say. Because women are not looking for a servant. They're not looking for a lost boy trying to be loved. They're looking for a man. A man who has a life, a mission, a code, and a heart that doesn't break at the first test. So remember this as you walk forward. Her tests aren't there to break you. They're there to reveal you. And now, you know how to show up as your best self. Calm, clear, confident. Not because you read some trick. Not because you learned to play the game. But because you became the man. And when you become the man, you don't chase. You choose. You don't prove. You show. You don't fear the test. You pass it by being who you are. This is the Stoic path. This is your power. And this is how you make her crave. Not just your presence, but your essence. The game is no longer about her choosing you. It's about whether you choose her. Because now, you're the one who holds the frame. And that's how you win.